Evening, guys. A.W.O here, Air Warder, on a Saturday evening. I set the stream up for 6:30, but yes, it's about 15 minutes later. I changed it to 7 o'clock because, well, I was eating dinner and I was on a stream earlier with Mad Max, talking about something to do with the Batman and how there might have been something involved with the script written by a comic book writer named Chris Wallace. All that stuff that was about, like, I don't know, 45 minutes to 50 minutes ago. But yeah, so I hope you're all having a good evening. Stuff. All right. Yeah, this is Marvel, but it's not Marvel MCU related. There will be a little discussion of MCU stuff in here, but it's mostly the Sony side of things. All right. But before we get into the topic at hand, and well, it does say doomed to fail. It looks like it's not it's failing right now, but it's not gonna they're not gonna stop it. Basically, they're not gonna just end this universe. And yeah, okay, so but before we get into that, guys, let you know next Saturday we're gonna be doing a She-Hulk spoiler review stream. Review stream. That's gonna happen for every Saturday. So it's about 8 or 9 episodes. So every Saturday it's gonna be She-Hulk spoiler review. And when the Rings of Power comes out, we'll be doing that a spoiler review for that, and that might coincide with She-Hulk, or I might do a different day for Rings of Power, because if I'm correct, if is no, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm correct. She-Hulk and Rings of Power be going on at the same time. She-Hulk is starting. It started a couple weeks before, and Rings of Power starts early September. So yeah, I'll be having 2 reviews going at some point. I don't know if I'm gonna do both on Saturdays, but maybe I'll do one on Saturday and one on Sunday. And so maybe She-Hulk on a Saturday and Rings of Power on a Sunday. And then yeah, I'll get back into Black Adam review, Wakanda Forever, whatever, whatever, the typical stuff. And you know me, I do video game streams, regular streams, like topics like this, not just on comics, but video games. I'll talk about video games, TV shows, sports, wrestling. As you know, I've done a couple wrestling streams in a bit. I've done one last night, SmackDown, and I've done also a Raw. But those weren't planned. I just did them because I had nothing else to do. I was bored. That's the only reason I did them. Hey, so yes, welcome aboard, guys. So, okay, the reason I'm doing this topic is because yesterday we got pretty much a confirmation of what's going to happen in Madam Web, who the cast are playing, characters are playing, and we're going to try to connect the dots here. It's early, so we could be wrong. I could be wrong. You could be wrong. Whatever. And so I did a video on this yesterday. So Dakota Johnson is going to play Cassandra Reb in the Madam Reb movie. Cassandra Reb, who's been around a long time. But that's not the main issue here, right? The main topic. A lot of people are not pressing that. A lot of people are having. There's a lot of people out there complaining, both bitching and moaning about Cindy Sweeney, who she's playing. Everybody's like, "Oh, she's playing either Grant Stacy or Felicia Hardy," but nope, it's been out that she's going to play Julia Carpenter, who does become Madam Reb. Okay, so if you're bitching and complaining, too bad. She's playing Julia Carpenter, who does become Madam Reb. And if you're complaining about having red hair, ginger hair, she's also blonde. And if they could always dye her hair red, let's remember, this is movies. You can always dye your hair to fit the character. Always. Always. And yes. And before we come on, wish my friend Blind Braille um uh some words of encouragement, stuff like that. Hopefully things will go fine with him. He's in the hospital with apparent lower back injury. Um so wish him luck, wish him it's nothing serious, and it's a fast recovery or whatever it is. So yeah, wish Blind Braille best news. Hopefully nothing bad. I hate distractions. Don't. Hey George, I'm gonna end people on soon. I'm just I'm just in the process of stuff. But yeah, so, Sydney Sweeney is playing Julia Carpenter. We got a couple other casting characters. We got the family of Peter Parker. Emma Roberts is going to play the mother, Mary Parker, and Adam Scott's going to play a young Ben Parker, obviously the uncle of Peter Parker. And I think it's and and we're going to discuss that and how does this all play into the Spider-Man Sonyverse that is forming with the Venom movies, Morbius, Madame Web, and Craven, and that movie that Bad Bunny's going to make. And we're going to get into that, guys. We're definitely going to get into that. Who else? Did I put him in there? Okay. Who else? Man, I'm sorry. I've been getting a lot of graphic designers lately. I don't know why. It's weird. It's weird. And it's because whatever. It's not important. But yes, we're gonna get into more of that. Yeah, thank you, El Murito. Of course, it's gonna bomb harder because nobody here knows that guy. But we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into. I just gotta tweet the stuff out. So yeah, before I'm gonna um Max, I'm not 100% sure. It might have a show tonight. I think he's planning to have a show tonight. Okay. And so yeah. Oh, I know. No, no, no. Hans. But yeah. Who else? Who else? I don't know. There's a lot of people. I know. I know who. Okay. Oh yeah, I know who else. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna put the link in the chat. And you know what? And you're all in. Oh yeah. If he wants to come on, he could come in. There we go. There we go. Thank you all for coming in, guys. All right, let's get into this, man. Here, yeah, I got somebody in here. Okay, George, it's in here. Okay. What's up, George?
Oh, nothing much. How you doing?
I'm good. You know, I was gonna start to 6:30 by dinner, so I changed it to 7. But I finished before 7, so I started about a quarter in between 6:30 and 7, and so on. I'm here, and yeah, I know like this is really not like it hasn't got much traction, but I decided to talk about the Spider-Man stuff because yesterday I think it was actually pretty big news on who a casting of the Madame Web, who they're gonna play. I'm pretty sure you're aware of what's going on. I'm just gonna make sure. I'm gonna just ask you if you are. Are you aware?
Yeah, apparently Emma Roberts is gonna play Mary Parker. And like apparently like Madam Web's gonna be recruiting a bunch of like female Spider-Man characters to
Oh no,
save a pregnant Mary Parker.
it's so broke.
Well, I know Neurotic's finally gonna say the Spider-Verse goes broke or goes woke.
Hmm. It is. Yeah. Well, it is a heroine story because Madame Web and and the other heroes are female. So
I mean,
yeah,
if I'm gonna be honest, it actually sounds a lot more interesting than any of the other Sonyverse movies that are coming out. So like so like I am very intrigued by it.
me too. Me too. It's so yeah. So once again, for people if you're just coming in, the cast has pretty much been revealed. It's Dakota Johnson's playing Cassandra Reb, the first Madam Reb, who's been around for years and years. So she's been around basically watching for years and years. She's been in the spotlight of human history. She's gonna be like a cab driver in New York, and but she's had others. She was in other things too. She did other things during the human history, but in this movie, she's gonna be a cab driver. You got Sydney Sweeney's character Julia Carpenter. Yeah, and everybody's complaining, oh, she should be Black Cat, but Black Cat doesn't fit the story.
I thought she was gonna be Spider Gwen. I'm gonna be honest. I really was convinced she was gonna be Spider Gwen.
But I don't think she fits. I don't think Spider Gwen fits the story either. Personally, but I do think Julia Carpenter does fit her because Julia Carpenter does become Madam Web. Yes, the people are complaining, oh, she doesn't have red hair. I'm like, guys, and there's some people that joke about it. I'm like, guys, it's acting. You ever heard of wigs or dyeing your hair?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
And
has Sydney Sweeney even been seen on the set of Madam
yes,
Web?
yeah,
So we don't. Oh, because I was gonna say we don't really know what she looks like on the
she
scenes.
was blonde. She was blonde in the pictures that have been shown. She's blonde.
Oh, okay.
But you got to remember, not everything like when you see set photos of movies and TV shows, you don't see everything, right? So
Yeah.
like, right? Because they take some time to the shows and movies take some time to make. Apparently, but lately movies have been being made quicker and quicker. Like some movies have been made in 3 months, and they're like big movies. Like I think Craven the Hunter was like 2 or 3 months being made.
Yeah,
I
I
think,
felt like it went by pretty quickly.
yeah, Black Adam was like a 3 month movie.
Like I remember, like the 3 month period would be meant for movies like Jay and Silent Bob. Like I remember that was like a 3 month movie. But again, that's not a big budget superhero film. Like now, it's like the big budget superhero films are like being quicker to make.
They are starting to become quicker to make, but then again, they have to do reshoots and all that other stuff. So that
Yeah.
take so, but yeah, they are. It seems like, and maybe it's just because technology is advancing and stuff, so it can make it be easier to shoot. I personally don't know, like, because let's be honest, a lot of superhero movies do require green screen, so that maybe
Well,
makes stuff easier.
do you think the pandemic might have played a role because they want to meet their
Yes,
deadlines?
yeah, but that for Marvel Studios for sure. For Marvel because they have like a whole, Marvel. They released their Phase 5 or 6. They pretty much and they have release dates for for Phase 6 movies, the Fantastic Four and the two Avenger movies. They have release dates for that. So
Yeah.
for Marvel for sure.
Although I'm convinced Secret Wars might get moved to 2026, but that's a conversation for another time.
Yeah, yeah. And then I don't think that plays into the Sony universe at all. But yeah, completely. I agree with you there. Uh,
I mean, unless like because like Secret War is gonna be like the big multiverse event film, unless they make some kind of deal that throws Tom Hardy's Venom into the Secret War.
you know what? They totally tricked us on that. No Way Home, they totally trolled us, man. They trolled us. We all thought Venom was gonna be in it, but
Yeah,
he went back. He went back. Yeah, what can you do, man? Like, We can all bitch and complain, but we're gonna get her. We're gonna. Sony's gonna have their own Spider-Man universe because they know Spider-Man's a moneymaker.
Yeah. So I'm wondering like Madam Web, is this like unborn Peter Parker gonna be like the Spider-Man of the Sony verse? Is this like a Peter Parker we already met?
Yeah, that's the talk right now. Is this Tobey Maguire? Is this Andrew Garfield? Is this I don't think it's Tom Holland. I
Yeah, I
personally
don't
don't think
think
it's
so either. Here's the thing, like some of the set photos like make it seem like this film's gonna take place in the early 2000s, or at least
Yeah,
some parts of it.
I always said I think they're gonna have it's gonna be something new for the Spider-Man universe. For the Sony universe, is gonna have they're gonna have their Peter Parker and their Spider-Man. Let's remember, the only time we got introduced to Peter Parker's parents in the live action stuff was Amazing Spider-Man. That's it.
Yeah, the untold story that I feel like was never really told.
Yeah, it was never finished because we never got the third movie.
I just felt like Amazing Spider-Man 2 kind of wasted that by having like that plane fight scene at the beginning.
Yes, yes.
It's like, wait, when did Spider-Man become a Mission Impossible film?
Oh my God, yes, yes. And yes, so Emma Roberts is playing Mary Parker, the mother of Peter. So obviously we're gonna find out who the father is because they need a father to that's well in the comic books you don't need having sex is not the only way to have a child, but logically it makes sense though.
Has anything been revealed about who the villain is gonna be, or just like who the heroes were?
I don't think they haven't announced a villain. I this who the hero side. Maybe it'd be like some hero trying to prevent Peter Parker's birth or something. I don't know. Does Spider-Man have any time traveling heroes or something like that?
I know like there's like a guy named
Villains,
like
not
I
heroes.
don't know. I feel like the one that fits the bill with like a time travel or like multiverse would be like Morlum.
Okay.
But like I know he was like introduced later in the comics, so I don't know much about him though. It's just what I've heard about him.
Okay. But yeah, so I'm just like I'm fine with City Street to be a studio carpenter. They're never the Felicia Hardy is not gonna be this movie doesn't fit her. Spider-Man doesn't fit her because this movie because if it's a young Peter Parker, what's the point? So yeah, I agree we're gonna have like a new Peter Parker or Spider-Man in this universe. I think it's obvious. The thing is, it's once again the issue we have, like everybody's having. How can you build up a Spider-Man universe without Peter Parker, without Spider-Man? At least, like how Warner Bros. Is doing with the Batman universe. We started a whole new universe, but we got Batman.
Yeah. See, I'm surprised Sony and Marvel didn't like I'm surprised like Sony didn't make a deal where they said, "Okay, how about this? At the end of No Way Home, just send Peter into our Sonyverse so we can have Tom Holland in our Sonyverse." Could you
I
imagine the backlash to that?
I feel like what they did to Tom Holland Spider-Man at the end, when everybody doesn't know who he is a way to get rid of him for the MCU. It's like a send off from the MCU universe to have so he could be officially part of the Sonyverse. But I'm probably wrong on that.
No, if they're gonna send to the Sonyverse, he could have asked Strange, "Can you just send me to a universe that doesn't have a Peter Parker?"
I'm telling you, the multiverse in an MCU is so confusing. I'm, I'm, it's very confusing because you got Loki, who somehow in the Kang from the Loki show is the multiverse. And then you got Doctor Strange who go up the multiverse. You got American Chavez who go up the multiverse. Like, what the hell? How many people go up the multiverse? Seriously. Like, it's really confusing, don't you think? Don't you think?
Yeah, it's like, and now you're gonna have like another like multiverse branch with like Ant-Man Quantumanium.
Kind of, yeah.
It's like everyone's going on their own little multiverse adventure, and it's like, okay,
I
when we
think
get to King Dynasty, like what's gonna happen?
I think a lot of people. That's why I think. That's why I think Phase 4 is confusing. Hopefully, Phase 5 fixes that. Fixes that. And the Kevin Feige said, "Oh, everything the timeline has changed because of Kang, right? Because of Kang, right? So everything is a little different in the current MCU timeline." I'm like, he said that, but he doesn't have to say that. The show and the movie should specifically say that. Like the person Kevin Feige shouldn't tell the audience that. It should be the movies or the show telling the audience that. It shouldn't be that the headrunner Marvel Studios, right? Don't you think? Like there's actually be the show, the movie telling us if the timeline changed, like how somebody says, not the
Yeah.
head of the studios.
See,
I don't.
I feel like explaining it, that's like a DCEU thing. It's like, when did Marvel start being like the DCEU where they
Yeah,
have to like explain stuff?
I don't like directors or head of studios or producers telling us, "Oh no, this is what happened. This is what happened. This is why things are this way." If it doesn't tell us in the movies or the shows, that means the show and the movies failed at story writing.
Yeah, because like, remember, like, that was what DC was doing or
Yeah,
like, remember, it was like Zack Snyder had to explain like who the real dead Robin was and stuff. It's like, that's a thing. Like an issue with DC.
yeah.
It's like Marvel should know better than that.
Because Marvel doesn't have a good story writing. Let's be honest. Marvel lately, the story writing is not the best. Look at the Batman. Batman's so easy to understand. It's a long movie, but it's easy to understand because it had great story writing. And so, even though the director had to tell us about the Joker stuff, like why he didn't put the Joker in,
Yeah, but again, like,
but if
the
you,
Batman still had a great story, and that's longer than these MCU movies.
yeah, yeah, you know what the problem is? These MCU movies, they're usually like 3 or 4 hours long. They shoot right, but they make them. The last two MCU movies are 2 hours. They maybe should have added maybe half an hour in to make a story fit.
Yeah,
Like that's the issue with BVS, right? Which BVS is a pretty long movie. It was like 2.5 hours, but but it didn't really make sense. But you got the ultimate cut. It kind of filled in the holes.
yeah, exactly. Like, here's the thing: I was talking about this with my supervisor, who's a big MCU fan, and me and him both agree. Like, the only two Phase 4 movies that I would say were actually great movies so far were No Way Home and Shang-Chi, and one of those movies was distributed by another studio.
Yes, yes.
So, like, you basically have, like, really so far only two movies that really like wowed audiences, and one of them was also produced by another studio.
Yes, I
Now,
agree.
maybe Wakanda Forever might be another crowd pleaser. The trailer certainly looked phenomenal,
Hey,
but
I'm telling you one thing: if that movie is poorly received, and a lot of fans don't like it, critics don't like it, and that trailer, that's gonna be Marvel Studios is gonna be ripped to shreds by everybody because that's the one movie they cannot fail on. I'm sorry, with that trailer, they cannot fail on that movie. They cannot have bad. They cannot have bad box office or bad reception to that based on that trailer we got.
I
They
feel
have
like
to they have to
I
hit on
feel,
it. They have to hit on that movie.
I feel like the next few MCU movies overall have to, like, wow, because after Black Panther Wakanda Forever, even if that one turns out phenomenal, the next two are Ant-Man Quantumanium, which will introduce Kang the Conqueror, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is supposed to be the conclusion to the Guardians. And even if Wakanda Forever wows, if those two movies don't wow, there might be some problems.
Yeah, I agree. I just saying because of that trailer. That trailer made it was emotional. And if that movie bombs, the studio is going to get a major. The reputation is going to take a major hit.
Here's the thing, I think it'll do well in the box office, but it's the audience and critic scores are
Yeah.
important, because if you
Look at Thor. Thor has made over 700 million, which is actually still pretty good, but it's good, but it's not Marvel standards anymore. Marvel's probably, if you're Marvel Studios, you want your movie to probably make around 800 to a billion, right?
yeah,
But that movie, the reception for that movie was bad. Was bad.
I mean, I
And
wouldn't say it was like bad, but it was definitely like compared to most of the other Marvel movies, not as good.
oh yeah, I agree. And they cannot Black Panther to me cannot have a 700 million box office, but it cannot. And I know it's coming out in November, fall season. I know there's Black Adam. To me, it should be more money in Black Adam, but like Ant Man for something like Ant Man is coming out February.
Yeah,
Okay, usually February, January, February are not good months for movies, right? But Captain Marvel made $1 billion in February. But Captain
Black Panther.
Marvel had Endgame after it, a couple months after game.
Well, the first Black Panther made $1 billion in February, so I
Yeah,
think like.
yeah, you're right.
But here's the thing: Ant-Man Quantumanium can be one of the best received MCU movies. It could be like for most fans like top 10 MCU. I don't know if it's gonna make $1 billion because the Ant-Man movies in general don't make that much money
Yeah,
because
yeah, it's
they're
true.
usually smaller
But
scale movies. Now this is
this is
gonna
a
be a
big one.
yeah, this is gonna be a big one. But again, this could easily like this film can probably get. I'm just saying, even if this film gets like better reviews than Shang-Chi, I will be shocked if it makes like over 700 million, to be
Oh
honest.
yeah. The thing
Just
is, I
because
think
like they've always been small scale.
I think it's just the thing is this is the first time you're starting to see um Marvel where people are like, you know what? Marvel is like as much as quality to print, as much content to print out, you could really see they're struggling. I mean, they're not struggling for money and stuff like that or content, but you can see they're really struggling for quantity, and people are starting to realize that, you know. And like, this is the first time you see Marvel being, I don't want to think, you know, that's the word, in the armor, I don't think I could say that word because it's kind of a racist word, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I noticed the shows, the majority of the shows are being well received. I think the thing is that they're doing too much. They're doing both the shows and the movies.
I think the shows make the movies not as special. I think
And
doing 5 shows a year is too much.
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've overall enjoyed the shows, but the thing is that I feel like the only thing the shows really do is just like just establish characters so that way the movies don't have to waste time establishing them.
Hmm.
But again, because the shows are added production, it's like it's taken away from the movies, which are, in my opinion, more important than the shows.
It's just a way to introduce more characters in the MCU.
I mean, I get it because you don't want to dedicate too much of a film to like introduce someone because let's just say you don't have the show Miss Marvels, you got to spend like a good portion of the Marvels to introduce Miss Marvel.
Yes, yes, exactly. And usually, to me, that's kind of a bad sign if the Captain Marvel sequel is called the Marvels. Like you would think it'd be Captain Marvel 2, but I think I think Marvel, Miss Marvel probably get like a season 2. I mean, Loki is the only one that has a confirmed season 2, but like now there's talks about like Universal not having the rights to Hawk at the end of 2023. If that's true, that's huge because if they don't have the rights anymore, Disney could basically snatch it up and actually do some Hawk related content. Not the She-Hulk, but actual other stuff. They could like, I don't know, finally introduce Betty Ross. Like, why if they can introduce Jennifer She-Hulk, why in Abomination, why can't they introduce Betty Ross like already?
Oh my! Here's the thing. I feel like this was a problem that they created back in Phase 2 when they had that forced romance between Hulk and Black Widow.
And that went nowhere.
That they basically, I feel like
They ended that.
they did that just to say Betty Ross is out of the picture because I feel like it was around that time when Marvel finally gave up trying to do another Hulk movie because I remember after the first Avengers they were talking about trying to do another Hulk movie before Age of Ultron, and I think because they never went anywhere because things didn't work out with Universal. I think Age of Ultron, that forced romance was basically Marvel's way of waving the white flag.
Ultron was not a good movie.
I mean, it was all right, but like compared to like the first Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame, it's like
Yeah.
it's not up there.
No. Yeah,
See,
and that romance that was a weak romance. That it was too forced. I think Marvel tries to do that with the romances. They try to force the romances too much. That's an issue with Marvel. But yeah, I mean, wasn't she's flirting with Captain America and Winter Soldier or something?
Wait, what about Cap? Oh yeah, who? Natasha?
Yeah.
You know, she was
Uh,
flirting with Captain America and Winter Soldier.
and yeah, like, what the heck happened to her with Captain America and like Sarah Connor, Agent 13 after Civil War? Like,
Oh my goodness, that the forced more forced romance.
the only good relationship that really worked, that really we felt something, was actually, to be honest with you, Pepper and Tony Stark.
Because they spent so many films developing it. Like that was the only one like that felt like there was development in each of those films.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't feel the connection between Wanda and Vision.
He
I
was a robot.
Yeah, but she had powers to make him look human. But yeah, but
Oh
like,
my
but
goodness.
I think that there wasn't enough development with the Avengers movies for their romance to develop.
I think even Sam Raimi knew that because notice how it was only the boys that were the
Yes,
focus. Like even Sam Raimi was like, okay, I'm just gonna focus on these children.
yes. It just they only spent like if you think about it, they only spent like 15, 20 minutes in all three movies when they're in Civil War. No, not even if he wasn't in Endgame, but in Infinity War. There were like 10 minutes or 15 minutes of them together. That's it. You can't feel anything there.
Honestly, like this I don't know if this would be considered a hot take or not. Anakin and Padme in the prequels had more chemistry than Vision and Wanda.
Oh yeah.
Because at least like you can say like okay in Phantom Menace this kid has like a little boy crush on Padme, and Padme's at least
It's,
being kind to him, and then like you see the awkward but at least developing
I'm gonna
relationship
be
in Attack
I'm
the
gonna be
Clone.
very hot take here. That's gonna piss off a lot of Snyder fans. I don't think Amy Adams and Lois Lane had a good chemistry with Henry Cavill Superman.
It just here's the thing. It just felt like okay in the heat of the moment as the city is getting destroyed, they just like kiss.
Yeah, yeah, it was really really forced. I mean, like look from the original movies um with, with Reeves, with Christopher Reeves and Margaret Kidder's is that her name? Margot Kidder? Okay, whatever. Yeah, that Lois Lane, that was great chemistry. That was chemistry. Lois Lane from the animated show, that's chemistry with Superman. Uh, Superman and Lois, even though that was like Superman was established for years and they've been together for years. You could tell the chemistry between those two. You just felt. I didn't feel with Amy Adams as Superman and Henry Cavill's. So Amy Adams is Lois Lane and Henry Cavill Superman. I didn't feel with them as much as those other incarnations of that relationships there.
Yeah, it's just like look, I like it.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Classius Lucius. You're right.
look, I like Amy Adams, but it just
She's a
felt
great
here's the
actress.
well,
Yeah.
here's this is actually kind of also my problem with BVS. A lot of things just felt like they were rushed. Like these are Superman's like first couple of years, and it's like you're rushing Lois Lane finding out who he is. You're rushing
Yeah.
the him like in Batman facing off for meeting in general.
Yeah.
You're rushing Doomsday. Like here's the thing, if I were to run the DCEU, I would like have like the third Superman solo film after like not just two Superman movies, but maybe like a few crossovers, maybe a Justice League movie or two. The third
I'm,
Superman movie have the Doomsday arc happen right before like the next big Justice League movie where the team wonders what do they do in a post Superman world.
I mean, as much shit as you give Sam Raimi's Mary Jane, Kristen Dunst, that she yells a lot, the chemistry was there.
Yeah, like here's the
And
thing.
Emma
Again,
Stone's too. Emma Stone's Gwen
like here's
Stacy.
the thing. Mary Jane was a damsel in distress in the Raimi films, but at least like her and Tobey Maguire from like the first film had great chemistry. There was a build up
Yeah.
to
Even
that
Emma
romance.
Stone. Even Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy, even though those two films, because you know what? She was in the film for a lot of it. Gwen Stacy in both films. Even though Amazing Spider-Man 2 was not great, you can still feel the chemistry between the two.
it just felt like Snyder was rushing stuff, or
Yes, yes.
like, and it's like because like his vision was only for a 5 film arc. I don't even know if it was for like a 3 Superman film trilogy, like a lot of people assumed at first.
Like in the first movie, she found out Superman's Clark Kent, right? Like he basically told her that she's Clark. He's
I mean, yeah, sure. Like the first Amazing Spider-Man film, Gwen Stacy finds out that Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Okay, but here's the thing: like there was a build up before that moment.
Yes, in the second film, they just build up the relationship, like, and you can see how, and like the ending, how devastated Peter, Andrew Garfield's Peter was of the death of Gwen Stacy. You felt that, like, because they built up to that moment, right? You felt that. To me, with Amy
Here's
Adams, Amy Adams is when the death of Superman, I didn't feel it.
here's the thing: if Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was in the DCEU, I can buy him falling to the anti-life equation more than Henry Cavill's Superman.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
like I can literally see.
I
Now, granted, like it'd be easier to stop
I
Andrew
don't know.
Garfield's Spider-Man than Superman, but like I can see him falling into the becoming evil due to
I don't know
anti-life
what I don't
quicker.
know why they want to make Superman evil because he played in just because was Zack Snyder heard about the Justice League Superman going evil. No, you know what? You
Here's-
don't.
People looked at them at the video games at the time and said, "This is what we want to see in the DCE." They looked at Batman versus Deathstroke and they looked at evil Superman.
But Batman versus Batman fought Deathstroke a few times, but Deathstroke's not even a Batman villain, and right like Deathstroke's more of a Teen Titans Green Arrow villain. Like at the time when that came out, Deathstroke was an Arrow, wasn't he? Like in on the island. I remember, if I remember correctly. And Deathstroke was in Arkham Origins, but he had a small part in Arkham Origins. You just sort of it was just Deathstroke was a very small part in Arkham Origins, and people just want to see Batman versus Deathstroke. But like, you know what? I didn't. I want to see
Oh
Batman versus his villains.
yeah. Well, like let's talk about like evil heroes. You know because like this Madam Web film sounds like it's gonna be like a Terminator themed film. Imagine if like an evil Peter Parker from another universe is the one that goes into another universe to kill Peter Parker. Like that'd be so messed up. Because I could see Sony doing something so stupid like that.
I really don't think Black Adam would team up with Darkseid personally.
No, I can see Black Adam teaming up with the Justice League more
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, they see if Black Adam may be a villain, maybe like not have the same kind of morals and ethics with the Justice League with the heroes, but he still has morals, his morals, and even in the Dark Side is just pure evil, man, pure evil. And Black Adam would not let Dark Side try to take over Earth. It's like, think of this way: the Rogues, for example, would help up the Justice League against Dark Side, and they're villains too. And this is correct. More Teen Times and Arkham Origins. Yep.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Hmm. But yes, uh, and
Wait,
there's people.
I
There's
remember
neurotic.
Spider-Man.
There's neurotic complaining about Iron Man. Complaining about a picture.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I saw you tweeted and like it. You know what I'm talking about.
yeah. Although I
Like
do remember Spider-Man the animated series actually did an evil Peter Parker for the series finale. Like he was possessed by
Spider
the Carnage
Carnage.
symbiote.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spider Carnage. I wonder like if that could ever work in live action.
Uh that'll be fun.
Because that was actually the first like official like Spider-Verse in like media.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Madam Web gathered all those Peter Parkers, including the Ben Riley clone, and they took on like the evil like Peter Parker. That would actually be a very interesting to see on film.
Hmm. Yes. But I don't think they would though. What did they do with the symbiote in Venom 2? What did they do with the symbiote? Is it officially destroyed? The Carnage symbiote?
I know Cletus Cassidy's dead.
Which is stupid in my opinion, but
Well, here's the thing, like, because there's so many different like universes, there could be a universe where one of the Spider-Man did fight against a Carnage symbiote, or maybe
Carnage,
Carnage. Or maybe Carnage killed like let's say the Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy or even Aunt May of that universe, and it pushed that Peter over the edge.
Carnage is basically the equivalent of their Joker in way of chaos, like mayhem, insanity.
Because I remember like vaguely, but I remember what pushed that Peter Parker in the animated series over the edge was apparently Aunt May also died.
Oh, really?
So
I remember.
so like Spider Carnage like was able to come through because like Peter Parker in that universe didn't have anyone else.
Wasn't it the main Peter Parker, the main Spider-Man, the whole series, not the actual Spider-Man? I don't remember. I gotta watch the show again. But yeah, but like the thing is, look, the movies in this universe haven't been like hugely accepted, hugely had a good reception, right? Look, Morbius. We have people that like Morbius. We're not gonna give them crap for that. They can like what they want. But overall, majority of people did not like Morbius. Made no sense. The after credit scene made no sense. Period. I'm sorry. Like I don't know. I don't know how that got into the movie. I don't know how they could let that in there.
There was a rumor that apparently Morbius was actually supposed to take place in the MCU, and like the break, and like there was supposed to be like a breakout scene with like Morbius,
Me too.
Michael Keaton's Vulture, and apparently Michael Mando's Mark Gargan, you know, the guy that's supposed to be
Scorpion.
Scorpion that has yet to be Scorpion. Like apparently it was supposed to be like a prison breakout scene with those three.
They probably forgot about him.
Oh my, oh yeah, I'd be so like listen, I would be so disappointed if he never appears in any of the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I feel like you can have a perfect setup for Spider-Man 4 since no one remembers who Spider-Man was. Like Scorpion's out for blood. Jameson still wants to know who Spider-Man is, so he helps create Scorpion like he does in the comics.
Oh yeah, you could do
Boom!
that.
I just gave Sony the plot for Spider-Man 4. Go for it.
Oh, you could do that. And Scorpion goes after Jameson because of what happened in the show.
And like here's another thing, and I've never been crazy about Mark Gargan becoming Venom in the comics, but you can also
Same.
maybe like have like since you're gonna have the symbiote, maybe like have Mark Gargan become like that universe's Venom.
Yeah.
But maybe you do him better than in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yes.
the MCU at times will do things better in the in the movies than the comics.
Oh my god, I hate people always complain. Oh, this is not exactly like the comics. The comics is comics like that.
Like
Dude, it's not the comics. It's
here's the thing. I personally prefer Civil War in the movies than Civil War in the comics.
yeah, me too.
So like if they say, listen, we're not gonna make Mark Gargan Scorpion, but maybe we'll make him this universe's
Hopefully.
Venom since we have an Eddie Brock in another universe.
I like go ahead.
I think maybe that can possibly work out if you're not gonna make him as Scorpion.
Here's the thing. If you want things to be exactly like the comics, do the DC animated shows and movies, even those are not exactly like how the comics are written.
Yeah.
Like they're not exactly on point. Killing Joke might be the only one exactly like the comics, except for the beginning with Batgirl.
Oh gosh.
Batman Hush, 2019 Batman Hush, nothing like the comic graphic novel. Injustice 1, movie that came out last year, nothing like the video games. Nothing.
Well, here's the other thing that, like, if it wasn't like you're saying, not to your point about not everything has to be like the comics. Harley Quinn was created in Batman the Animated Series. We wouldn't even have her in the comics or the movies if it wasn't for her popularity on the animated
I
series.
think Bane was too.
No, I think Bane. You're saying Bane was created in the '90s during the Nightfall story arc.
92, I think, before the animated series, I believe.
Yeah, but like then he was like I think added like in the
Yeah.
second season of animated series because of
Yes,
his
yes,
popularity.
yes.
Because it was I think it was the popularity of Doomsday and Nightfall that pushed Marvel to do the Clone Saga, which actually made things worse for Marvel.
Oh yeah, the Clone Saga.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they wanted something. Because from what I heard, they wanted something big to compete with DC's Nightfall and Doomsday because those comics were doing so well and were getting well received.
Oh, because Marvel was struggling for a long time.
Yeah, and I think that actually pushed them closer to bankruptcy.
Yeah, they were almost bankrupt for like they were facing bankrupt for a long time. They're lucky. They're lucky Disney picked them up.
Well, here's the thing: they had to sell the movies to different studios. That's why everything was at different studios for
Yeah.
a while.
But they lost a lot of good talented creators too to Image. Image Comics. Like, Tom McFarlane was a big loss. They lost a big like Tom McFarlane, like the guy who created Venom. That was a big loss. They had
Yeah, because
like
like here's the thing: Venom. I think here's the thing: Venom really helped Spider-Man comics, and
yeah.
then like once he left, I think that was the downfall.
Did you hear about this? Did you hear about the history of the Image Comics guys when they started Image Comics after they left Marvel? Because everybody who started Image Comics were Marvel people. We're not DC people, right? They're not DC. They're all Marvel because they're tired of Marvel's bullshit. Because if you work for Marvel and DC, it's kind of like working Marvel Studios. You have to kind of work under their umbrella, right? You have to be controlled. You're not really independent in a way, right? So they went to DC. They went to DC Comics, and DC thought, "Oh, we're gonna get a bunch of these writers and artists." No, they just went to them and said, "We're not working for you."
But again, here's the thing: I don't think DC in the '90s really needed them
No, but they
because
went, but they got Jim Lee later on, right? DC. That was a
yeah,
big hit.
Jim Lee.
But Image was good for DC and Marvel later on because they got a lot of great talented artists and writers from Image Comics and other independents. But yeah, but I just found out that story a couple days ago on a YouTube video. I like they just went into DC and said, "Yeah, we're not working for you."
But so I did actually see like a good point. Like I forget who said on Twitter, but someone brought up a good point about like the one concern they have with Madam Web, which is like Spider-Man gonna be this like is this gonna be another scenario like Amazing Spider-Man 2 where Peter Parker is destined to be this great hero? Like remember Amazing Spider-Man 2, the scene in like the subway with the coins,
Yeah.
and like the dad was basically saying this is your like destiny or something.
Oh my God. Are they gonna do like a Batman film where they're gonna go in the past to make sure Batman's parents don't die and Batman's never born?
Maybe they should make that the new plot of the Flash movie.
Oh my God.
So, since like basically we're gonna have to rely on Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck to run this press tour, like this promotion tour, you might as well just make it Batman No Way Home and just do reshoots with Christian Bale or Robert Pattinson.
Oh my God. I would laugh. Yeah. But so like Morbius wasn't like. Now we got Craven. No, Craven's not out, right? Like it's gonna be
Yeah,
out
no,
next
Crave.
year.
Yeah, it's gonna be out like early next year, January, which I call the death sentence for movies. Although I will
Okay, yeah.
say
January's always been a different.
although the recent Scream film came out in January, and that was actually a very good film, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually
Yeah,
one
you'll
of
get some.
that was like the second best Scream film, in my opinion.
You will get some. You will get some movies or decent movies out. They're not exactly like big hits, but like you won't get the blockbusters out in January.
No,
But I think DC tried to the Black Canary, not the Black Canary, the Harley Quinn movie with the Birds of Prey.
that was February, I think.
Really, but that's they tried. I mean, because February you do get some. I mean, Marvel does release big blockbusters in February. Only if there's a big movie. Usually, if there's a bigger movie later down that year in the spring. For example, Black Panther leads into Infinity War. Uh, Marvel, Captain Marvel led into Endgame. This year, well, 2020 had nothing. This year, there was nothing released in February because the first Marvel movie was in May with Multiverse of Madness. That led into basically into Thor: Love and Thunder. Even though they're not really connected, but it still led into that movie, right? Because Marvel always does
Yeah.
that.
Well, here's
Uh,
the thing.
eh,
Remember, they had Eternals come out in November, then No Way Home in December. But again, those movies were not connected.
yeah.
It's
Oh
like
yeah, I forgot.
you don't need to see Eternals to see No Way Home.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because Black Widow was July. I think Shang-Chi was September.
September.
Eternals is November. Yeah, November. So you got four basically Marvel movies slash Sony last year in the span of what? July to December. That's
Yeah,
about
I think the
5 months,
yeah,
five
I
six
think
months.
well, Venom, which was like Sony
Yeah,
trolling, like Venom came out 2 months before No Way Home.
yeah. Okay, yeah. So that's if you count those Sony movies slash MCU movies, about 6 movies in the last basically the last year, half year of 2021, half year. So basically like a movie a month,
Yeah, and
almost.
also you had the shows. You had the shows like coming out like
Yeah, WandaVision was January to March because it was 8 or 9 episodes, and you got Falcon Winter Soldier was 6 episodes, so that ended in April, late April, early June. And then Loki started, and Loki ended with What If, and What If ended probably in October, and we had to wait a bit for Hawkeye.
yeah, so it was like, yo, they basically said, okay, we're gonna overdose you guys with Marvel content in 2021.
Yeah, yeah, because 2020 pretty much shut down everything. So everything was. I mean, we're getting a lot of movies and TV shows coming all at once because, well, of COVID, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, Daredevil's gonna like overdose us for like 4 months. That's gonna be 18 episodes.
Yeah, yeah, 18 episodes, and I hate to break this to people. There's gonna be fillers.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, they gotta like include some street level heroes in that show to like,
Hmm.
like I for those fillers.
Moon Knight, that's the only one. I guess you're not a big fan of the Marvel shows. I don't blame you. It's Marvel shows are always up and down. Some episodes are good, and you'll find a really, really good episode once in a while, and then the finales tend to be a letdown in the Marvel shows. Like that's my issue with Marvel shows. They need 6 episodes. It's not enough. One big
Honestly,
movie.
the only Marvel shows that I can see myself rewatching all the episodes again are Loki, WandaVision, Hawkeye, and Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Those are the only four like I can see myself like rewatching like all the episodes again.
I can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really watch the Marvel movies or Marvel shows after I've seen them once. I'm not one of those people.
Like, here's the thing, like I rewatch for marathons, but it's like there's like probably like 12 or 13, like 12 to 14 Marvel
I,
movies that I will really go back and rewatch like on a constant basis
I
without a
don't think
marathon.
I can't. I don't think I'll ever do a Marvel marathon ever.
No, like here's the thing, like sometimes I even try to limit my Marvel marathon. Like the only time I would say I did like a full Marvel marathon was during those first few months of the pandemic when I had all that free time.
Yeah, yeah.
But like here's the thing, when it came to Endgame, I literally like watched selective movies. Like I kind of skipped Thor the Dark World, Iron
I'm,
Man
t-
2 cuz
I'm,
I was like I don't want to rewatch these.
I'm telling you, this is a problem I have with DC. When DC puts out good movies or good shows lately, this year, 2022, their content. I don't cut the CW stuff. CW is to me is shit. But Peacemaker, the Batman, and Sandman, they're much better than anything Marvel's put out this year.
Yo, I'll even say the Suicide Squad last year is
That too.
better than
Yeah.
any of the Marvel movies this year. I'm gonna be honest. I really feel like the only Marvel movie that has come out during the pandemic that is better than most of the DC content would probably be No Way Home. But outside
Yeah.
of that, all the DC content's been better than all the other Marvel stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I could agree there.
But here's the thing. That's the thing.
Yes.
Spider-Man is Marvel's most popular character. So like, okay, that makes sense that Spider-Man's gonna be will be on top, but Marvel needs all the other stuff to work.
Yeah, and they're happy, right? Like they might get like the DC may have a supposed plan now in place to give them better competition. It's almost like they admitted. It's almost like they admitted that quality is not important because they don't have no competition. Like Kevin Feige basically said in an interview, the competition basically said that with DC probably getting DC with their putting out their content and stuff, it gives them more competition, more better ideas, more for better quality of their movies instead of quantity. So to me, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, competition is good, but that shouldn't be a reason not to put out quality Marvel movies or shows. Competition should be the reason for that. I mean, competition is good, but
Yeah, just think like in the real world multiverse, there's a universe where DC's on top of the world, and Marvel is relying has the rights to Spider-Man, but because of that, they're relying so heavily on Spider-Man, like DC right now is relying on Batman.
yeah.
Just think that, like right now, we probably be getting like our like the Spider-Man, where DC
Oh,
is in Phase 4.
how about this? How about this little joke I have? Where is it? This little joke. Excuse me for a sec. I got something fun to show you guys. Do you follow this guy on Twitter, Officer Martinez?
I don't think so.
Oh, you gotta follow him. He's funny. You know Officer Martinez is from Batman, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, that. Oh yeah, yes, I remember. I remember that. I didn't know he had an account though.
Well, a guy, I don't know.
Well, I think I've seen someone screenshot his account.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. This is a joke from IGN.
Oh, remember? Well, here's the thing. Remember that time we were joking around. I think Blind Braille was also on. We were joking around saying they're gonna like continue the Snyderverse in the MCU.
Oh, because they did mention, but they did like Superman's in the MCU. They did mention him.
Yeah. Because like think about it, if they sold DC Comics to Disney, you don't think Disney's gonna try to find a way to have Marvel and DC in the same universe?
Of course they would. They probably have them in the They did. Marvel and DC did comics together, and if Disney does buy DC, which I don't think Warner Bros is gonna sell, but just hypothetically, if they did, definitely they would do it. The first thing they would do from a DC, they would definitely do a Batman project. Let's say tomorrow they bought the DC project. D23, Kevin Feige plays, yeah, we're making a Batman movie. I guarantee it. Batman would be like the first character they would use at DC to make.
Yeah.
They
They would
guarantee.
make sure Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman at least get films before Secret War.
And I would love to see Batman interact with some of the Marvel characters. I mean, he can't interact with Tony Stark, Captain America, or Black Widow, but some of those characters, right? But it'd be like interact with Thor. He probably couldn't stand Thor. I mean, I don't think he could stand any of the Avengers, honestly.
He probably would get along with Spider-Man and Daredevil.
You know what? With Spider-Man, I could see him getting along. He probably wouldn't put up with his jokes, but the morals stay the same. Because Doctor Strange. Remember, Doctor Strange said, "Oh, they have to go back to the universes and they're gonna die." And if Spider-Man and Peter didn't like that, Batman would be on the same page with Peter Parker.
Like here's the thing, and also they have like their backgrounds. Like yeah, I mean Batman's got more money than Peter Parker, but it's like they got similar history where like they
Oh,
lost someone they love, and that's why they're
oh
doing
well,
what they're doing.
well, almost every Marvel character has almost the same background as. I mean, Wanda's lost her parents in her brother. That's almost the same thing as Batman. Batman lost his parents at a young age. Wanda's lost her parents at a young age.
No, just imagine like Kevin Feige like said, not only are we gonna introduce our DC characters in the MCU, we're gonna continue the Snyderverse in the MCU.
Oh
And like
no!
and Gerald becomes Gerald of the MCU.
Oh my god! Can you imagine Dark Side of the MCU?
Oh
Fuck,
my
man.
Yo, and it's like Benedict Cumberbatch, Brie Larson, Tom Holland, Chris Hemsworth, welcome Ben Affleck,
Yes,
Henry
yes.
Cavill, and Gal Gadot at D23 saying, "Welcome to our Marvel family."
Blind Bell say Batman would fit as the best DC character that would fit in Marvel is probably Batman.
Yeah, he probably will because a lot of the heroes like don't like have like typical powers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. Ex-
Here's the thing: he would fit in better in the Avengers than in the Justice League, in my opinion.
oh yeah, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. He would fit better in the Avengers. Now, in the movies, he would call out the Avengers on their shit. In the MCU, because Batman's always very critical. I mean, he's very critical of Justice League members. He doesn't care if Superman could kill him just like that, or Wonder Woman could kill him just like that. He'll call them out on their shit. He'll do that with Avengers too. He,
Yeah,
that's Batman for you.
yeah.
And he
I think we said this before on one of your streams. He would call out Doctor Strange for that one victory,
yeah,
that one timeline. He'd be like, "Bull."
yeah. He said Batman says there's always another way. He always says that. He always says that there's always another way. And you know what? I think he would have killed Thanos. He did that dark side in the comics, or at least tried.
Oh yeah, well, wasn't that Final Crisis?
Yeah, Final Crisis. They would be rivals, but I think Bruce wouldn't be able to stand Tony. I don't know. I just think Bruce wouldn't be able to stand Tony. And I don't know if Tony could be able to stand Bruce. I mean,
I remember there was this meme that came out like a few years ago. I think it was around the time BBS came out, where like Steve Rogers and Superman were acting like old friends, and like Tony and Bruce were basically just like throwing banter at each other.
yeah, you know what? They probably would do business together because Tony is a stand-up guy. He's not like Lex Luthor, right? I mean, Captain America and Superman, yeah, they'd be friends. And I'll tell you, Batman would see Captain America as Superman. He'd probably call him a Boy Scout too.
I will say that the Jolly Rancher scene from BVS would actually fit in the MCU.
I just want a Joker in the MCU. Oh my god.
Like here's the thing. I honestly feel like Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor would be MCU Lex Luthor.
Oh no, I don't think Batman is worthy to hold that hammer. I don't know.
I made a joke like that at work. Everyone looked at me like I had 10 heads.
I don't think it'd be worthy to hold a hammer. He would admit that he was not worthy. Look, Batman may not kill, but he's not a saint. And no. Define which ones. Who would he beat? Black Widow, yes. Hawkeye, yes. Iron Man, I could see him beating. Captain America, I think he could beat. Thor, no.
No.
And it's just prep time. I mean, Wanda, no. Scarlet Witch, no. Unless if catches off guard, that's the only way he could beat the witch is to catch her off guard. Hawk, no, but he'll find a way. I mean, he'll do like what Tony Stark does, find the Buster, but or he would use Joker toxin or the fear toxin. I'm like, I was watching this video. I'm like about how Batman would defeat the Avengers. I'm like, I agree with most of them. But I'm like, why would he use a fear toxin on the Scarlet Witch? Why would he do that? Well, that doesn't make sense.
He would endanger more people.
Yeah, he's not stupid. If he wanted to get rid of the Scarlet Witch, even though this is technically would kill her, Joker toxin. But he wouldn't use that because he wouldn't kill. But Joker toxin, if you use Joker toxin on Scarlet Witch, he would actually win because he would actually kill her.
Yo, imagine if Batman uses a dance off against Star-Lord.
Hey, there are pictures. From the Batman 66, okay?
No, Batman 66.
There's a problem with the MCU and Marvel is that they haven't established this insanity. The villains with insanity, with insane, with disease, the sickness, mental illness stuff. Like with the Batman universe, like Batman, like basically all Batman's villains are like there's always something wrong with them. Marvel, you don't see that.
The closest we have gotten was Green Goblin, but that's from the Raimi verse.
Yeah, and so we might get that with more street level villains in the future, right? That they need help, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, imagine Batman's rogue galleries. Oh my god, Joker would be pissed off. Like I think, well, Mr. Freeze is basically Scarlet Witch. The same kind of reasoning. I'm sorry, or Gore. Like Gore. If you think about it, Thor: Love and Thunder and Multiverse of Madness, the villain basically had the same motive. Don't
They
you
want their
agree?
children back.
Yeah, like
So here's the thing. I guess the theme for Phase 4 villains is sympathetic
I've
villains.
noticed that. I've noticed that.
I mean, because think about it, like Shang-Chi, the father, like while he was a great villain, you kind of felt bad for him.
The only one, in the movies, the only one you could think of was not a sympathetic villain. I think was Black Widow's
Yeah, no,
villain.
that guy was a piece of shit for what he was doing to
Yeah,
those girls.
Taskmaster was sympathetic, but the daughter was sympathetic. But
Yeah, no, the main honcho of the main room, no, of the red room, no, that guy
even
was a piece of garbage.
even Eternals, you weren't kind of. I mean, Icarus became the villain, but he kind of felt
You
sympathetic too.
understood, you
Yeah,
understood why. Like, here's the thing: No Way Home, all those villains
I could
basically
see
had their
that.
own problems.
I could
Like,
see Bruce and Natasha hooking up for sure.
I
I
would
could.
buy a Bruce Wayne romance with Natasha more than a Bruce Banner romance with Natasha.
Yeah, yeah. Bruce Bruce Wayne as an Avenger would be like, he would definitely make sure Ultron. If he had to do something like Ultron, he would definitely make sure there's a virus or create a virus in case something goes wrong. So remember, that's what defeated Superior Ultron in What If, a virus. Bruce Wayne thought ahead of time to create a virus.
Bruce would have prevented a lot of problems in the MCU.
Yeah, because the Avengers in the MCU, very different from the comics. In the comics, they're proactive instead of reactive. But in the movies, they're more proactive than they're reactive than proactive because you would think, right?
Yeah,
An invasion from space. You would think they'd be more aware and more set up to make sure an invasion like that doesn't happen again. And they brushed it off.
I,
Batman is not like that.
no, he definitely. I would say this: if Batman was in the MCU, Peter Parker would not be forgotten. Bruce Wayne would have proven that Mysterio video was fake.
That's the kind of person he is. Oh, I said it on the stream of Blind Braille. You know Civil War. You know how what's his name? Baron Zemo framed Bucky for the bombing.
Yeah.
That, Batman. You know how Batman would have done? He would look on the computer, zoom in to the face, and see who it really is, and that's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
They can't do that in Civil War. Come on. That's it.
Well, it's like
That's
no,
all.
literally, like Batman would have solved every problem. And I'm not saying like Batman's gonna be OP, but it's like literally he would just like
It's not OP, but he's just ahead of everybody.
he'd be ahead of everyone.
Yeah.
Listen, like he like literally like he would either prove Mysterio's video was fake or he would tell Peter Parker, "Don't go to Doctor Strange. How about this? I'll get you and your friends into Gotham University."
Isn't there other people in the MCU that could do the exact same thing? Like I mean, he
They
has
don't care
connections
enough.
to. Doesn't he have connections to Shield and stuff? Um, right? Doesn't I know they don't? It's like here's the thing. Here's like the thing. After Endgame, it's like everybody decided not to be allies or friends anymore in the MCU.
It's like here's the thing: Bruce Wayne would be like the big brother / uncle that would say, "Okay, how can I
Yes,
help
great
you?"
movies in the MCU. Yes, yeah.
Like
See, here's
he
the
would,
thing. Yeah, George. I was gonna say it's like they don't keep. It's like they don't keep tabs on each other. Batman would keep tabs on everybody.
and here's the thing: I think you think they're doing that on purpose so that way when Kang Dynasty happens, they're divided again,
Oh
and
fuck no.
then they lose at the end of Kang Dynasty, and they have a broken multiverse.
You know how stupid if they kill off a bunch of people again?
Oh my
Oh
goodness!
no, they're probably gonna. You know what? If they did Kang Dynasty and sequel, they're probably gonna kill off the people from like Phase 2 and 3, some of them, and they use the younger talent. you're probably gonna see.
The new Avengers will save the day in Secret Wars.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. You're probably gonna have like Scarlet Witch die eventually in Phase 5 or 6. Ant-Man die. The Guardians are probably gonna end up dying or not. I don't know if they're all
Yeah.
gonna die. They don't have to exactly die to be not an MCU content anymore. But I'm just saying, people from Phase 2 and 3, most of them will probably end up being the especially six, because they probably end up being dead. They end up being in the last film or show in Phase 6 or something. And then we're gonna have all the younger talent, the younger crew, take up the next few years of the MCU. So you have like Miss Marvel, maybe Ironheart, Kate, Hawkeye. But the thing is, that get very, really boring because you wouldn't have like Iron Man anymore. You wouldn't have like Ant-Man anymore. You wouldn't have like, you wouldn't have Thor anymore. Like,
we're gonna have the X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that's what's gonna have to save it. Yes.
Because here's the thing, like I can see here's the thing. I can see Secret War also being the end for Tom Holland, Peter Parker. What if he dies at the end of Secret War?
Yes.
Because here's the thing, they're gonna kill someone off that's been around since at least Phase 3, and I feel like it's either gonna be Doctor Strange or Tom Holland's Peter Parker.
Well, we know Doctor Strange is coming back, right?
Yeah, but again, we also know he can come back in Kang Dynasty or Secret War.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate the Marvel movies when they say at the end, Doctor Strange will be back, Thor will be back. Please surprise us.
Here's the thing. I think they're gonna kill off I wouldn't be surprised if at Secret Wars Doctor Strange or Peter or MCU Peter Parker dies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's another good relationship the MCU and Sony did though, was Zendaya and Tom Holland.
Well, here's the thing. I can also see them in Phase 7 going with Miles Morales as the new Spider-Man.
Yeah. I think that's destined to happen. There's a reason why they had Don Glover in the first Spider-Man movie. That was not just for there's a reason for that. That's complete. There's definitely a reason. That wasn't just fan service. That's a reason for that.
Here's the thing. I can see Sony and Marvel agreeing to this.
Oh.
The next Tom Holland Spider-Man movie comes out before Kang Dynasty, but that film introduces Miles Morales. And then basically Miles will take the throne either in Secret War at the end of Secret Wars or next Spider-Man film after that.
But Miles Morales is not Spider-Man though, according to some people.
Well, here's the thing. What if he gets his powers in Spider-Man 4? What if they give him Spider powers and Spider-Man 4 is a Peter Parker mentors Miles thing?
Yeah.
Because I can see them establishing a time gap as well where it's been 3 or 4 years since No Way Home.
What do you mean the mental CJ, what do you mean the mantle of the Fantastic Four X-Men? What do you mean by that? Because
it's going to be the key members. No, we're saying Fantastic Four and X-Men will be the main draw of the MCU after Secret War.
Yeah,
That's what we're saying.
Yeah, definitely. Fantastic Four is definitely going to be announced. I think they're going to be announced at D23. If not D23, Comic-Con next year, but I think it's going to be D23 this year. And that's going to break the internet. That's going to break the internet. Well, yeah, but Tom Holland's only 26 years old, so I don't know how long he could go a long time. He's still young, but it depends how long he wants to go and how his contract
is. Pictures. It depends on how long. Yeah, it depends on how long. Here's the thing. If I know he's said maybe after 30 he may not want the role anymore, but he can always change his mind and say I'll do it as long as I want to, because Chris Hemsworth, he's done that before where he said I was ready to leave the role, but now I'll come back anytime they want me to. People change their minds as well.
Yeah.
It depends on what you give the actors. If you give them something new and intriguing, they'll say, okay, I'll do this for the next 5 or 10 years.
Yeah. But you know what? Some they do eventually get burned out of the role. They don't want to be known for that. Look, Hugh Jackman has been in a lot of great movies. They're not X-Men related, but when we talk about Hugh Jackman, what's the first thing we come up to mind?
Wolverine.
Exactly. When it comes to Ryan Reynolds, even though he's only been in 2 movies, what comes up to mind?
Deadpool.
Michael Keaton, Batman. Christian
Yeah.
Bale,
Well,
Batman.
here's the thing. Hugh Jackman, I think, also had the benefit that other Marvel actors don't have, which is he appeared in an X-Men film every like 3 years or so. So he had a
Yeah,
break at least where you look at Robert Downey Jr., it was like he was Iron Man every single year or every 2 years, to the point where he only had a few roles in between those Iron Man Marvel movies, and
you know,
one of those was in another franchise, Sherlock Holmes.
2008 to 2019 was Tony Stark was Robert Downey Jr. was Tony Stark. So let's look at it. 3 Iron Man movies. Okay, 3 Iron Man movies, right? 4 Avenger movies, 4 Avenger movies, that's 7 movies, plus the first Spider-Man movie. That's 8 movies in
Civil War.
basically. Civil War, yes. So that's like 9 movies in a basically an 11-year span. Hugh Jackman, Hugh Jackman was the first 3 X-Men movies, Days of Future Past, but was also in his own trilogy, right? And now it's what
Yeah.
17
eh,
years
Yeah. He also had a small appearance in Apocalypse.
on Apocalypse. Yeah, so yeah, that's a cameo. So basically, he was like 8 movies in what 17 years. Look
Yeah,
at
but at
look
least
at
like
it.
he had gaps where he can do other projects.
Yeah, look at it. Yeah, so you see the difference between him and Iron and Tony and Robert Downey Jr. That's a huge difference. That's about 8 year difference. 6 year difference. Because the only 2 movies I can think of Robert. No, he's actually done 4 movies while he was at While he did was role of Iron Man. Tropic Thunder. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that film.
The two Sherlock movies, and I think The Judge. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, The Judge.
See,
Because like
Mutant.
I remember like Tom Holland said like he wants like a break before they do the next Spider-Man movie. So like these
Mm-hmm.
actors do, while they want to continue, they also want those breaks. They want to do other projects.
Mm-hmm. Well, Tom Holland's doing what? He did. He just did Uncharted. I still haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I gotta watch Uncharted.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have that free time soon because next week's my last week working summer camp, and it's gonna be a long week. But after that, I'll have like a couple weeks of free time.
Oh, it might. It might.
Because I think it's on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix.
Uncharted?
I think so.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like here's the thing. I still have Netflix. I don't really use it as much as I used to.
So yeah, he has gray hair. He's 45. He's still in great shape. All you have to do is dye that hair. That's all.
Well, like here's the thing. Like because of like how like Wade Wilson looks behind the mask, it's like you can easily like CGI that stuff. Because like he's sick with cancer, the character, and he's like deformed.
Mm-hmm.
So like they can like easily use makeup and special effects for that stuff.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. I think the age thing doesn't matter, especially if Michael Keaton in his late 60s, early 70s
40.
is playing
40 is not
Vulture and
40.
Batman.
Look, the only time when you're 45 is old is in sports, okay? Sports, that's old.
Yeah, I mean, for goodness sakes, Tobey Maguire came back as Spider-Man at the age of 45, 46.
Yeah. The only time in your late 30s and 40s where you consider old is sports. Okay?
Unless, like, you have, like, a history of bad knee injuries in your 40s, as an actor, I think you're capable of still doing stuff.
Yeah, and look.
And he's going to have a
Especially,
stunt double.
yeah, you got to remember most of these actors have stunt doubles. Unless you're Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is on a different level compared to most
Well,
of these guys.
he's insane. Tom Cruise is legit insane. Look, they're going to cast some young actors and some older actors. X-Men. Professor Xavier is not going to be it's not going to be like James McAvoy age. Okay, he's probably going to be like closer between Patrick Stewart's, probably between 50 and 70, but probably more in the 50 range. My guess.
Yeah.
Same with Magneto. Magneto is going to be in that range, and you're going to probably have like Wolverine. Wolverine's over 100 years old, basically. He doesn't think right. So I can see some of the X-Men being older and some of the younger X-Men in it.
Well, I can see them getting someone that's at least in their 30s for Wolverine, because he never really like.
Yeah, ages.
Yeah, you remember when they had those rumors that Daniel Radcliffe was gonna play Wolverine?
He didn't. Yeah, he knew about it and he denied it.
Yo, could you imagine? It's like he went from Harry Potter to Wolverine. The multiverse of madness really happened, and Harry Potter is now Wolverine.
Fuck.
It's like Voldemort. Yeah.
Oh my god.
The Horcrux. It's like I'll just stab all the Horcruxes with my animanium claws.
Doctor Strange be like, "Aren't you in the wrong universe?"
It's like it's like do you even know what a Horcrux is?
Oh, is anybody from Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness in the Harry Potter movies? Can I think of any of them?
No. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I
I
like
don't think
that would
so. Any
no.
actors? No.
Honestly, like as far as Harry Potter
I mean,
actors
Lord of the
do,
Rings are in. Lord of the Rings are in. I know Benedict Cumberbatch was in Lord of the Rings. Well, he's
honestly,
the voice for on.
I feel like the only actor, as far as I'm aware, that has have any MCU connection, and he only did a voiceover, is the guy that voiced the Lizard in Spider-Man: No Way Home, because the actor that played him in the Amazing Spider-Man, same guy, played Luna Lovegood's father.
Well, yes, I know what
Yeah,
you're talking
yeah,
about.
he's the
Yes,
only, but again, he only did a
he
voiceover
he
role
was
in
in
the
Little.
MCU.
Did you see Little Nicky? The Adam Sandler movie, Little Nicky.
Wait, who was it?
The Adam Sandler movie in Little Nicky back in the '90s. You know, he's the son of the devil, and he has brothers that go to Earth. They cause
Uh,
trouble.
can't remember.
It's the one had Rodney Dangerfield in it. It had Patricia Arquette in it, I think. It's Adam Sandler plays the son's Adam Sandler plays the devil son.
I can't say I have.
Oh yeah, he's in it. I know you're talking about. It's yes, I know you're talking about.
Like as far as anyone else, like honestly, no, I don't think anyone else from Harry Potter has been in the MCU. I know Gary Oldman was in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Gary Oldman was
The guy
yes,
the guy that played Professor Lupin played Ares in Wonder Woman.
yes. He also plays he's in Sandman also. Um,
Yeah, because my mom, when we saw Wonder Woman in theaters, she was like, that guy looked familiar. I'm like, that was Professor Lupin from Harry Potter.
hmm Yes, you're right. I don't think anybody in Harry Potter has been MCU. No, I think you're right.
Yo, that's crazy. It's like these are like the two highest grossing like film franchises ever. And like none of the Harry Potter actors have been in the MCU so far.
There's a lot from Lord of the Rings. Well, actually, from the Hobbit universe. Hobbit universe is in MCU. Martin Freeman and Benedict Cumberbatch are in
Yeah, and
MCU.
the Wasp, the lady that plays
Oh,
Wasp,
he has
wasn't she
Wasp
like one?
too.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
and Lee Pace, the Elven King, was Ronan, the Accuser.
oh, Hugo Weaving was Red Skull.
Hugo Weaving. Yes, yes.
So like yeah,
Kate
they
Blanchett. Kate Blanchett. Hela, or whatever. She played Hela, remember?
yeah, I remember. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
Carl
that
Urban. Carl Urban.
yep.
Who's who's
Oh wait, yeah, Carl Urban.
yeah.
Oh, I thought of another. Oh Jude Law is the only other one. He played Dumbledore in Fantastic Beasts, and he was the Captain Marvel's mentor in Captain Marvel.
Who did Gemma Chan play? Was she in Hobbit? In
Um,
was she
oh,
in
yes, yes. CGH actually brought up someone. Toby Jones was in the MCU.
Yes. Who was Gemma Chan in that in that Gemma Chan was in Harry Potter? I don't
N-
know.
yeah, I don't. Wait, maybe she was she not. Let me. I wonder if she was in Fantastic Beasts.
Well, yeah, I mean that universe.
I'm
Actually,
gonna.
yeah, she was. She's the first one, 2016, where you could find them.
Yes, yes, she was. because I know like well the real life who I know was in Fantastic Beasts. That's
Yeah,
in
like
the DCEU. Oh yeah,
Rupert Grint.
Rupert Grint is so underrated.
Yeah, but he hasn't done anything. You don't see him in like he's not. I mean, he was well known for Harry Potter. I know he's done stuff, but like he doesn't do big stuff. And I don't think Emma Watson's done a movie in years since like what? Since
Be-
like Little
Beauty and the
Woman?
Beast or
No, she was in
Little
Little Woman.
Women. Oh,
Yeah, because she's more of an
honestly,
activist now,
Ru-
right?
yeah, Rupert Grint was great as Ron Weasley, but what used to annoy me is like a lot of like Ron's best moments in the books were taken by Hermione. Like,
Uh, Emma
no, no,
Watson is
I'm
a
not.
better actor.
Here's the thing. Apparently, the screenplay writer for the Harry Potter films had a big bias towards Hermione.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, Steve Kloves. He was a big Hermione fan, and like I don't know if you watch Movie Flames like channel. He does a lot of Harry Potter videos. Like he's brought it up before about how like a lot of like moments that Ron had in the books, Hermione like took in the movies,
Mm-hmm.
and like Steve Kloves really had like there were interviews where he says like Hermione's his favorite character to write.
Mads Mikkelsen. Oh yeah, good one. Mads
That
Mikkelsen. He's in every franchise besides the
I
Warner Brothers.
here's the thing. I felt like Mads Mikkelsen was wasted in Doctor Strange
Yeah.
because like here's the
This is
thing.
the guy you're talking about.
Yes, that's who I'm talking about. That's who I
Yeah,
brought. Thank you, CJ. You know, Mads Mikkelsen was wasted in Doctor Strange,
but
in my opinion,
he's like in every franchise except Warner Brothers, DC.
because like Mads Mikkelsen is always fantastic as a villain. I actually did like him as as Grindelwald. He was great as the villain in Casino Royale.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was wasted as a villain in Doctor Strange.
Yes, I guess. Well, that's Marvel for you. They kind of waste villains. Like the villains didn't start getting interesting besides Loki till like 2017, 18. Remember, that was always a
Yeah,
weak point. That was always the weakness. Was the villains.
I mean, I like Shang-Chi had a great villain. All the Spider-Man MCU movies had great villains. Black Panther
Yeah,
had a great villain.
yeah, but nothing like Batman villain. Like nothing like the Riddler. No, I'm joking.
Here's the thing. I
But,
think the DCEU one strength that they do have over the MCU. I think their villains are more memorable.
but yeah, I mean, like except Doomsday's not. Except I'm sorry, but the Zack Snyder ones. Besides Zod, I don't think are memorable. I don't think Doomsday's memorable. I don't think that Luthor's memorable. Those two are memorable in the wrong way, though.
Yeah, Luthor's are memorable in the wrong way, but at least people talk about Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
No one talks about um Malekith from Thor: The Dark World. No one even talks about Ronan the Destroyer. And Guardians of the Galaxy is a fantastic film, but the villain I think holds that film back for me a little bit.
Nobody talks about Ego from Guardians 2.
Oh yeah, CGH brought up how Toby Jones, who was also in the MCU,
Dobby.
voiced Dobby. You know, an actor from Harry Potter that I wish was in a Marvel movie, the guy that played Lucius Malfoy. I think he would have been a great Norman
Jason
Osborn.
Isaacs.
He, I wanted him to be Norman Osborn in the Amazing Spider-Man films.
Some people want him to be Doctor Doom.
Like he just gives, like he always gave because like I felt like Lucius Malfoy and Norman Osborn are similar characters. He gave me the Norman Osborn feels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if they actually, I don't know if they'll ever introduce Norman Osborn in the MCU. I would still go with Jason Isaacs.
Well, 616 Norman Osborn. You don't know if they introduced it. They kind of did introduce him. Like, here's a problem. Oh, they didn't. Here's the thing though. Oh, they didn't introduce Professor Xavier in the MCU. They didn't introduce Reed Richards in the MCU. Yes, they did. It's from a different universe.
Yeah.
Same. That's not MCU is the cinematic thing. It's not the actual. It's not the actual thing you see on film. It's not the actual universe you see on film. It's just. All right. Why are you, CJ? Why are you being so political, man? I'm
Wait,
sorry.
what? Oh wait, are you talking about? He's talking about Spider-Man freshman year, I think. The new animated series that's supposed to come out in like a year or two.
Cares? I don't, stop. Oh my God, CJ. Who cares? Who cares? Really?
Well, here's the thing. I think they've already established that freshman year is going to be in an alternate universe.
Yeah, they said that.
Like they said, like so. I think like because here's the thing. Like he's going to be meeting characters that are coming in earlier.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the lineup of villains, like Doc Ock's going to be a villain in there, and it's like he didn't meet Doc Ock until he met the Raimi Doc Ock. Scorpion's going to be in there. He only met Mark Gargan. I think Chameleon's going to be there. He hasn't even met Chameleon yet.
Chameleon's in Craven.
Oh yeah, another villain that Sony's wasting.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sony's wasting all these villains for their silly universe.
Yeah, I'll be right. Oh yeah.
Oh, do you think we will ever get a Cursed Child movie or a reboot of Harry Potter into a show? I don't want Cursed Child to be a movie.
No.
They butchered Harry in that play.
I don't know what they're gonna do with the Harry Potter movie or TV shows. They'll probably do video. They are releasing a video game. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. That's a good one.
Well, here's the thing: if they continue Fantastic Beasts, you know who is not going to be in it anymore.
Yeah, Ezra Miller's arc is done.
Yeah, he is the new you know who, not Voldemort.
Spoiler alert. I mean, he's a Dumbledore.
See, I would like to see like a prequel series either based around Harry's parents or how Voldemort like created his Horcruxes.
I honestly think the Fantastic Beasts should be done with Newt's story and continue Dumbledore's story and stopping Grindelwald.
That would
Because
be
now,
interesting to see.
because now they're not now because the pack is broken between them, right? So they're now allowed to battle each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I want to see Mads Mikkelsen more as Grindelwald. I know the Johnny Depp fans will get annoyed, but honestly, I prefer Mads over Johnny, and I'm a big Johnny Depp fan, but I feel like Mads Mikkelsen pulled it off better.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, CJH.
So this is what I was referencing. They did that in the PS4 Spider-Man, and that's what they are doing in the freshman year. So I don't know if it's a race swap or if it's that.
I kind of really don't care. If it's good,
I
it's
mean,
good.
here's the thing: you can find ways to make Norman Osborn the villain without making him Green Goblin.
He's always been shady.
I
Before
mean,
Green Goblin.
in the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, he was basically helping Tombstone and Hammerhead create supervillains before he became Green Goblin.
Yeah, and he's the one who supplied Hobgoblin with his the with what he needed. Yeah.
So this is from the freshman year.
He looks like the Riddler. He could be the Riddler.
Yeah, he's got with the green on. It's like you would think he's like the Riddler.
Just put question marks on him. Make him the Riddler.
But you know, like they can. Here's the thing: I think if the MCU ever introduced Norman Osborn, they can still make him a villain without him becoming Green Goblin.
Well, they need like Oscorp, right?
Well, like I can see them like making Oscorp like a beginning startup company.
Yeah.
Basically, do what DC didn't do and make, like, you know how Lex Luthor became president or something in one of the comics? They could do
Yeah.
that, but with Norman.
Oh, yo, and could you imagine Peter Parker's reaction?
Yeah, but like, I don't want. But the president, I think they are gonna have a president in one of the
Or
movies.
it was in the comics. It was Mayor.
Mayor, yeah, but
Mayor.
he was a mayor in the game too. And
Yeah, and he screwed up that city as mayor.
of course he does. And yeah, can you imagine President Luthor? Now, Jesse Eisenberg's Luthor will never become president because
I'm
that one's
still not convinced that's like Lex Luthor, though.
that is Lex Luthor.
Well, maybe originally it was going to be, but if they reboot,
What, 'cause he's
like
Alexander
they plan
Luthor?
on doing, yeah.
Alexander Luthor is Lex Luthor. Lex is short for Alexander. Is Luthor. That's people. I don't know why people have an issue with that. It's just a different. It's just a different kind of Luthor from what we're used to from like the animated series and stuff. This Luthor is smart, but he's not the kind of Luthor that would. He makes a lot of dumb decisions. The one from the animated series could get away with stuff because he's
Yo,
smarter.
that
than
one's
this
the best
Luthor.
version.
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of Luthor I want to see in DCU.
Yo, Clancy Brown did a fantastic job voicing that Lex Luthor. Like, he was cold, he was calculating.
Michael Rosenbaum did a great Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
And you know,
wasn't he
know,
also Flash in the Justice League cartoon?
yes, you know, what played a great Lex Luthor despite the bad show is John Cryer's Lex Luthor.
He was the only good thing about the CW stuff, or one of the only good things.
He was
You
very
know
close.
who was
ahead.
a good Lex Luthor until stuff came out about him?
Oh no,
Kevin Spacey. He was a good Lex Luthor until we found out about the other stuff.
he was a good Lex Luthor in a bad movie.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Kate Bosworth was not Lois Lane.
Oh my goodness.
We basically have Cyclops in it with a love triangle with Superman, like how Cyclops had a love triangle with Wolverine and X-Men, same actor. You remember? Basically the same actor, like the same storyline you had with the X-Men, the love triangle.
I want Lex Luthor with the power suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw something. What if it's like Norman Osborn that like sends someone back
Yeah.
in time to kill baby Peter Parker and Madam Web?
Oh yeah.
Like Oscorp is like oh crap, what who I forget who made the Terminators in the Terminator movie.
Oh, I don't know.
But like, you know how like they send the Terminators back in time to like kill Sarah Connor?
Yeah.
Yo, that's
So-
basically what Madam Web sounds like it's gonna be. Like, except I think it watch like Oscorp sends someone back in time.
They could technically do this since they already introduced Iron Patriot in Iron Man 3.
You
Oh,
know
yes,
what?
they
Norman
did.
Osborn taking like Stark technology would actually be an interesting flaw in the MCU.
Yeah. I mean, they could do Dark Avengers. They could do that. But you kind of need to establish like Norman Osborn is a high, powerful. It's a
It could be connected to the Hammer Industries, right?
Oh yeah, with Sam Rockwell's character, yeah.
As long as he's not talking about parrots.
Actually,
Like that's what I remember from Iron Man 2.
what was that Disney Plus show that they were talking about?
Armor Wars.
Wars. That could be about Norman.
Sony's got to give the okay though. I think.
I'm sure they're okay with shows. I think as long as like Sony isn't planning on using Norman for anything, they could probably do it.
I mean, look, and probably not. They shouldn't just, but they could have Oscorp in a different city, and they build an Oscorp building in New York. Something like that.
Well, one idea that
Headquarters.
I have, like they can also be in a different country, like
Oh yeah.
Because the Osborns, like they always use Europe as a place to go when like things go bad. So it's like, let's just use like they can be like a European like company that comes to the United States.
Oh yeah.
Because like Norman Osborn, like when he got impaled by his glider in the comics, he went to Europe. When in the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, Harry Osborn went to Europe when he was trying to get away from his Green Goblin addiction.
Mm-hmm.
So like they can just say like, okay, this company's from Europe, they're moving in here.
Mm-hmm. They can do something like that.
Because here's the thing, it may not exist in New York, like Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin said, but maybe like he because like I assume he doesn't check the internet or something. He doesn't know that there's an Oscorp somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, I'm gonna end it here, guys. Good conversation. You'll see me on Max Town hour and a half, 10 o'clock p.m. If he's awake.
Yeah, he's gotta wake up.
Well, he did stream earlier today, which I was on.
Well, he sent a thing in the chat, so maybe he's awake.
Yeah, but he's still. Yeah, it's still Max.
He goes for nappy nap.
Yeah, he's old.
Well, I mean, like I don't know that alien talk that I saw last night like freaked me out.
Yeah, I was serious about invading planets because I said I don't want them to invade us. I think we should invade them before they invade us.
No, that I had no problem with. I'm talking about the other stuff with the aliens.
The alien sex? Oh, and Jarbo man went the extra mile.
Jarbo always goes the extra mile.
Yeah, that's what last night's stream got way out of hand, man. Like it was fun, but crazy. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on. So let's get to plugs. No, before we get to that, want to wish Blind Braille for right. Best of luck. He's in the hospital with a bad back. Hopefully, nothing serious. So my heart goes out to Blind Braille. Get better, buddy, and we'll see you back on the show. Hopefully, whenever I have a stream. So yeah, go ahead, George. Plug, and CJ, she could plug your stuff. Go ahead.
Well, Blind Braille will get better, and you can just find me at Just George, and I am continuing my review series of Kevin Smith movies, and I did Chasing Amy today, and tomorrow will be Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So check out my reviews.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, CGH.
I have a YouTube channel. I guess I upload sometimes. A lot.
Okay.
I like to edit stuff. I'm not gonna be doing much after next month though, because I'm going back to college. So
okay,
I won't be.
Okay, yeah. So guys, you'll check out their channels. As I said, the Mac.
Do you want to put up this meme?
Oh, okay. Where did you get this? Did you make this, or where is it from?
No, I saw it on Facebook.
Do you think they're gonna cut to the MCU before I die?
I think it all ends with Galactus, to be honest.
Oh yeah, so yeah, guys.
I'll be in my 60s by then.
You see, I'm sorry. I'll be hilarious. I don't think it's good. I'll be like 70 by the time or whatever. All right, so yeah, go check out those guys' channels. I'll be an hour and a half on Max's channel, maybe a little bit later at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. You can check out my streams, videos whenever they come up. So you click the notification bell for streams and videos to come up, so you should be aware
Yeah,
of that stuff.
because sometimes I go live, and then sometimes I say I'm gonna go live, and then I don't go live.
Yeah. Yes. So that make sure to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Yeah, and then once again, click the notification bell for me going live. This week, I don't know. I have nothing planned for this week, but there might be some streams I plan to make during this week. I don't just know yet. A couple streams a day, and there'll definitely be more videos on whatever comes up this week. News days in entertainment world, sports, wrestling once in a while, and next week, August 20th, spoiler review episode 1 of She-Hulk. Make sure you've seen it. It comes out on Thursday, so make sure you've seen it. If you want to come to the show, make sure you've seen it. But if you don't mind being spoiled, stay in the chat, okay? Because I'm gonna be a jerk here, but it makes the conversation better to just talk about it with us if you've seen the show. But like this, CGH and George on. But if you haven't seen the show, and you want to be spoiled, just stay. You could be in the chat. But also I got another announcement. Rings of Power will be coming out in September, while She-Hulk is still going on. So I'll do a She-Hulk spoiler review on a Saturday, and I might do a Rings of Power spoiler review on a Sunday. I'm not 100% sure yet, but be on the lookout for that. Okay? And then obviously the Black Adam review, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and stuff like that. So yeah.
I found an article. No, not an article. A little page that tells the future of what the MCU.
Okay, let me see this.
Oh, you want me to send it?
No, I'm reading it now. Yeah, I smell BS with this.
Yeah, it's
This
definitely.
is
think,
ideas Wikipedia. This is where people write fan fiction ideas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're just gonna end it with that. Thank you, CJH. But that's total BS. Yeah. So that was A.W.O and his guests are out.